Welcome to episode 2, and in this episode you are going to learn all about classes. In programming languages in general, classes are very important, and there are only a few main components in most programming languages. Classes are what are called a type of object, which allow you to describe a thing or a concept in a kind of a description. So you're going to see that in Python. And we're also going to create what's called a class instance, and that's very important. So that's really a an instance of a class. So if you describe a car, then the instance will be a specific car. So it's Steve's car, for example. So going to our code platform, Code Sculptor platform, and the first bit of code that we're going to see is written here. And I'm just going to show you what happens when I run it. So all you get is this black screen, and this bit here is called a frame. So here we have in Python a class called game, okay? And this again is a description of something. So in this case, we're describing a game. Now in Python and in every other language, classes are usually initialized somehow. And in Python, they're initialized with a method or a function called init. And init is written with 2 underscores at the start of the word and 2 underscores at the end. Another feature of Python is that all functions or methods within a class take a parameter called self, okay, and that is referring to the class itself. So the keyword def is how you describe a function, and a function is just a little unit of functionality or code that describes something that happens. So in this case, we're initializing the class, and in this initialization code, we are creating a frame called, we're creating a variable, and that's another requirement for programming, is the ability to create variables, which are just labels that refer to objects. And we're creating a variable called frame, and we're using the simple GUI library to create the frame, and the frame and the parameters it takes are the name of the frame, the width, and the height. And these capital lettered variables are actually really constants. They're quite often called magic numbers. So I'm declaring the magic numbers outside the class here. So the width is 384, the height is 448, and that's it. Now nothing would actually happen until I create an instance of the game, and that's happening down here. If I delete this line of code and run it again, nothing will happen. If I add it back, and let's change the name of this variable, we can call it anything we like, so a game, and we run it, again we get our frame. So hopefully that makes sense. And at the top first line here is just importing the simple GUI library, which is what we need to actually create the frame in the first place. In the next video, I'm going to show you a little bit more on this class game, which is very important for you to progress in this series, and you will get to understand a little bit more about the graphics packages within Simple GUI.